We just have to advocate for those kind of people, and people like in Congress, like Ocasio-Cortez, who is helping people overcome these kinds of things.
Crimes do not nullify your humanity, and people are coming here in search of opportunity.
I'm going to show you the person that said that quote. Is that surprising?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why is that surprising?
Because I thought it was the Trump administration that said something like that.
Yeah, it's quite surprising. I thought it was from Trump.
I didn't expect it to be Obama either.
Why did you not expect it to be Obama?
Because I guess, I don't know, like, it just never...
Get ready for a jaw-dropping moment of realization, because today we're tackling one of the biggest divides in modern politics: perception versus reality. What happens when students think they are reacting to a quote from Donald Trump only to discover it was said by none other than Barack Obama? Spoiler alert, their reactions are priceless, and the double standards in this video will leave you questioning everything you know. So let's dive in.
I'm Captain Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're going to be asking students for their opinion on the policy of deporting people that are illegally here and have broken the law. We're going to be reading them a quote in support of that policy, but what they don't know is the quote is actually President Obama's from 2014. Will that change their opinion? Let's find out. Donald Trump announced this past week that he would be urging ICE and other administration authorities to seek out people living here illegally that have broken the law, to deport them.
Well, did you catch that? Right off the bat, you can feel the immediate assumption that this quote is rooted in Trump's policies. Notice the words racism and xenophobia flying around, like classic labels tied to Trump without much thought about context or history at all. What's fascinating here is how quickly the focus shifts from the actual content of the quote to preconceived ideas about Trump himself. It's a perfect example how deeply the narrative around a person can overshadow policy details.
Donald Trump has kind of embraced this rhetoric of racism and xenophobia that is not beneficial to our country at all.
I don't think that quote really stands true.
This administration has totally not done anything moral.
This is really awful.
Amnesty does not necessarily mean that we're losing border security. I think that Trump feels that way.
I think that's a bad decision because the United States should be open to immigrants. It's they call it land of the free for a reason.
We just have to advocate for those kind of people.
This is where it gets really good. Watch their faces as the interviewer reveals that this quote isn't actually from Trump and it's actually from Obama. The moment of disbelief on their faces says it all. The students were so sure of their stance because of who they thought said it. It's a wake-up call to how much partisanship shapes opinions nowadays. And what we're seeing here isn't just a surprise, it's pure cognitive dissonance. The idea that Obama could have said something they labeled as racist simply doesn't compute, and it shows how much personal biases drive reactions as of today.
People like in Congress, like Ocasio-Cortez, who is helping people overcome these kinds of things.
Crimes do not nullify your humanity, and people are coming here in search of opportunity.
I'm going to show you the person that said that quote. Is that surprising?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why is that surprising?
Because I thought it was the Trump administration that said something like that.
Yeah, it's quite surprising. I thought it was from Trump.
I didn't expect it to be Obama either.
Why did you not expect it to be Obama?
Because I guess, I don't know,
This part is gold because it dives into hard numbers. Obama deported more people than Trump at the same point in their presidencies, but the fact doesn't seem to shift their perspective at all. Instead, the students pivot to framing Obama's action as somehow more humane than Trump's. This is a very classic move to justify their preconceived narratives, and it's a reminder that facts only matter when they align with the story people want to tell themselves.
I'd say my understanding of Obama versus Trump is that Obama was more liberal as far as amnesty and border security. I expected that quote to come from Trump.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows the hypocrisy in politics. So one person can say something 5 years ago, and next thing you know, it doesn't apply to them anymore, and that they can now be the morality police for whoever is in charge now.
Does that change your opinion of the practice to know that President Obama did the same thing, actually, to this point in his presidency, deported more people than President Trump had at this point?
No. Again, I just think that there's a moral way to do it.
Here we see the students grapple with the moral framing of deportations. Despite acknowledging that Obama's numbers were quite a lot higher than Trump's, they cling to the belief that his methods were somehow more compassionate. This is where the double standards also start to really stand out, and if Trump's policies were so inhumane, the question arises why Obama's actions aren't treated the same way. It's very, very fascinating to look at how people rationalize their beliefs when confronted with very, very uncomfortable truth.
It never occurred to me that it could be Obama.
Is that surprising that it's a quote from President Obama?
Yeah, that was surprising for sure, yeah.
Do you think it's still a practice of white nationalism, though, to deport criminal illegal aliens?
I think the way Trump's doing it is.
Okay. But President Obama, to this point in Trump's presidency, Obama actually deported more people, though. So it's, in practice, it was more from Obama, though.
What's your question?
This section highlights something much bigger than the immigration policy, the tribalism of modern politics. One student perfectly sums it up by saying that people pick a team and stick to it no matter what happens. And this isn't just about Obama or Trump, it's about how we process information based on who we like or dislike, rather than the merits of their actions.
And I don't know a ton about Obama's deportation policies, but I imagine that they were a lot more humane than the ones currently going on.
Here's where the hypocrisy in politics really shines. One student admits that people can say or do the same thing, but it's judged differently depending on who they are. This is a powerful reminder that policies and actions should be evaluated on their own merits, not just on who's implementing them. The moral high ground doesn't just belong to one party, it's a general goal, something everyone needs to work toward. This video is nothing short of a wake-up call for all of us. It's not about defending Trump or Obama, it's about encouraging critical thinking and fair judgment. We have to stop letting party lines and personalities dictate on how we view policies. If we're going to have real conversations about massive issues like immigration, we need to base them on facts rather than on feelings. So let's keep questioning, keep debating, and most importantly, keep thinking for ourselves.